Now you create value and insights for every single customer conversation presentation minutes rather than days and hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the role of a high-performing customer success manager at Blue Shift. So I'm here on the login screen, but sign in using Google single sign-on. Obviously, I have to verify this application or app through Google. As you can see here, I integrated Google sign-on here, but also integrated with Google Slides, so I can take the presentation and transform it to Google Slides later. So first thing here, you complete the profile. So in this case, I am the customer success manager for Blue Shift. I'm gonna put in the website. It's gonna use basic AI and be able to scrape this information to figure out the features and products of Blue Shift. In this case, I have the two sort of categorization for Blue Shift. In this case, a cross-channel marketing platform, customer data platform. Obviously, in the future, I will have other types of B2B platform like CRM, ERP, and other platforms. So in this case, I'm going to select cross-channel marketing automation. Once I complete sign up, it's going to encourage you to create that presentation. So in this case, Stan Booyah has a customer. His customer, imagine, is Urban Outfitter. We'll put in Urban Outfitter's website. Again, in this case, I'm going to look at what vertical they're in. So it's going to, again, use this information, the website information, Urban Outfitter, look at the sort of the vertical and cross-reference, basically identify pains and challenges based on this vertical and based on the types of pain and challenges that a solution like Blue Shift can solve. Here I'm gonna upload files. In this case, I'm going to manually upload some customer usage data files, some performance metric. If it's a public company, I can include, for example, a 10K annual report. We'll go ahead and upload in this example here some Blue Shift usage data that I downloaded from their account and some other reporting, in this case from Domo. It's going to go ahead and run. It's going to take about a few minutes to run, but I'm going to go ahead and switch to a presentation that I created. As you see here, it's right now it's processing, which means you can't really look into it, you can't download it, but we'll switch into that. But before I switch into that, let's take a look at the files that I have. So example here, this would be a file of campaign usage data, like the campaigns that's being run. I sanitize this to just being a demo account. In this case, the segment they belong to, the type of segments of campaigns, and some of the metrics like sends, revenue information, and so forth, right? And also I can look at, for example, maybe you're pulling these reports from Domo or other BI tools like Tableau Looker. So here you have information about overall account usage, what year-over-year comparison, what feature they're using. In this case, engaged time optimization within Blue Shift. You're using the recommendation features, etc. So again, all the information you can upload it, and in the future, I'm hoping to be able to integrate with other directly like Databricks, maybe directly to Amplitude or Mixpanel and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to one that's already been uploaded. So here's an example of the one I created. I can quickly, simply here, go ahead and say present. So as if you're presenting, like if you were in Google Slides or PowerPoint. So first slide here is just, high level, key bullet points. We see here in the middle here, the strategic objectives. They're customized based on the vertical, but also on the business. So it's looking at the business model for Urban Outfitter as being a retailer. We're looking at, in this case, a retail vertical, comparing that to the feature sets that Blue Shift can solve, and personalizing the strategic objectives here. Go to slide 2. This is diving into, for example, some of the key metrics. So we know that in this example here, there's a 53% year-over-year decrease in volume, but it's also indicating that is because they're targeting more efficiently instead of doing batch and blast. So based on the data, we're also seeing key metrics like year-over-year send volume decreased by 53%, top campaign performance, and so forth. But let's say, for example, as a customer success manager presenting an Urban Outfitter, the client has questions about, maybe, the campaigns, right? So instead of going into like a different tools, you can use the AI assistant built in this case, Ask Sage, and say, what are my top 3 performing campaigns? Let's go do some analysis, use some AI prompts. Let's go bring back some of the results. As I'm waiting for this, let's go through the next slides here. The next slide here is identifying 3 key sort of features that your customers is using successfully with your solution, in this case, BlueChef. Number 1, behavior triggers. Identify the problem it's addressing, which is in this case, acquiring and retaining customers. The outcome, over 55K in terms of revenue generated from the abandoned cart and other key metrics. And number 2 here, predictive recommendations being used and also engaged time optimization. As you see on the right-hand side, the AI assistant answered the question. So based on the campaign sample data, based on revenue, your top 3 performing campaigns are Valentine's gift card, President's Day, and winter clearance sales. By click-through rate is your flash campaigns, welcome, abandoned cart, also telling you where the source of the data is coming from. Let me go ahead and here. And then step 3 here, we're identifying not only what they've done well, areas of opportunities that they can grow into. So in this case, we're identifying 3 key areas: multi-channel campaigns, so going from a single channel to multi-channel, and how you do it and what type of results you can be getting. Event trigger campaigns, going from a batch campaign to more real-time campaigns, and now introducing push as part of your overall strategy. Let's say, for example, if you're talking to Urban Outfitter, maybe these 3 opportunities aren't the right ones. Maybe you can ask Sage here, the AI assistant, what are some other additional growth opportunities that I should highlight? Next, taking a step further, we can take those 3 different sort of recommendations and identify key next steps. So for each of those 3 things we identify as growth opportunities, I'm going to say, well, let's go ahead and take this further, automating key moment behavioral triggers, examples of where you can do those. And the example here, welcome abandoned campaigns. The example here, introducing push in your, like multi-channel campaigns here. And then third, how you apply recommendations. The same thing here. Now you can see here the results here with the AI assistant. Based on the raw campaign data, there's opportunity in these areas. Further refining abandoned cart, showing the results, introducing welcome series and welcome and win that. And then lastly, the last step here, in this case, it's going to highlight the key achievements, summarizing the key opportunities that you identified earlier, and most importantly, identifying 30-day action plan that you can actually take after the QBR. So not only can you present here directly within the platform here, you can export it to PDF, different format, export it to PowerPoint. You can also export it to Google Slides. We'll go ahead and export it there.
Stan, 1 minute.
All right. And in the future, I'm gonna give you the ability to upload sort of your template, your sort of like your company's template. But in here, I'm gonna go ahead and say, let me have and change the theme here. Import the theme. So now you have exactly kind of, sort of your QBR done in minutes rather than hours and days. So let me ahead. So in summary, so imagine a world where you can automatically immediately up-level and transform your entire customer success and sales organization from being high performer to rock stars overnight, providing more value and insight at every single step of your customer journey. So ValueSight will help your teams earn your customers' trust immediately and become their trusted advisor instantaneously, which will translate to higher overall customer satisfaction, shorter sales cycle, increased top-line revenue. So sign up now and change the mindset across your organization from protecting to growing your revenue. So welcome to ValueSight.ai. That's it.
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Stan. I think we don't have time for questions, but thank you. If anybody has questions, Stan can share his email. You can reach out to him. Casey, do you want to go next?
There we go, muting off. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Make sure it's the right one. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. That is so exciting, Stan. Thank you for that demo. Happy to take the hot potato here. So I was just like, the timing for this, joining this cohort was perfect for me. I had a big inspiration that hit me. And then I think a week later, I saw from Ha on the Product Leader Summit that this might be an opportunity. And so what I've done is I have built arete, which is a Greek word meaning excellence. And really what my vision for this is a multi-sided platform, it's a multi-sided platform for executive and leadership coaching. And my vision would be to basically make this a movement, right? I don't think there's really a coaching platform that captures the imagination in the market the way that a lot of the big tech brands do today. And I think there's a lot of really interesting opportunity to modernize the experience. So that's my goal. And also I would say that, I think that I'm a mission-driven human, and I feel like coaching is one of the best ways to help people become the best versions of themselves, which means they're going to be better with their teams and be building better solutions for the world. So it's a little bit of an ikigai for me as well. Okay, so with that, this is available at arete.coach, and a little bit more about this concept. This is the coaching app of my dreams. I'm that dork that has strengths finder tests from when I was in my 20s and my 30s and now my 40s. And I sometimes reflect on them and I think about that. And, just like self-reflection and growth has just always been such a core part of who I am. But honestly, like there's problems in that space that are just not solved well. And so I really feel like there's an opportunity to make it a better experience for everybody all around. For a lot of executives that get coaching, I had my first executive coach in 2019. It's like, oh, I'm going to meet with this human every second Tuesday at 2 p.m. and then run around doing crazy startup stuff all the days and time in between. And really like figuring out how and when to take time to go splunk through my Google Docs and figure out what to look at and reflect on was hard. So I feel like having that like an app in your pocket would be really great. There's some more information here about the market, which I won't go into detail on that, and benefits really for why this is a great product for leaders or coaches. But I think the goal here for me is like, I feel like AI is changing everything, right? It's changing how people, of course, are building products like we're doing here. It's also changing how people work through stuff. And one of my biggest fears is that everybody just starts talking to robots when they're trying to work through coaching things. And I feel like, no, we should be talking through stuff with other humans. So this is using AI to amplify. So I'm going to jump in to the journey here. Your journey begins with reflection. And so you have to add your first reflection to get started. And the way that right now we add a reflection is very simple. And by the way, you can see here what other coaching journey is interesting for pretty much probably everybody on this call, except for that of like Luke Skywalker and Yoda. So I went through and had Claude put together fake coaching transcripts for them. And so we can upload them here. I'll just, while things are uploading, I'll just tell a quick story, and it's on one of the other pages. There's a scene in The Empire Strikes Back where Yoda, like Luke has to go into a cave and he asks Yoda, what should I bring? Or what's in the cave? And Yoda says, only what you bring with you. And it's a very big kind of like coaching moment that was shared with me one time with a coach. And so just leave that thought for y'all to ponder on as you think about things. And let's see here. So the main idea is that you would add moments into your reflections, right? And this would be different, like every 2 weeks. If you have a coaching session, maybe if you're curious, you could see like Luke has this kind of a disc profile, or, Jedi Council, they did an assessment on his training, right? And so maybe that's like a board meeting, right? You'd have. So we could bring that in, for example, here. But in real life, like these things would just be happening on like, throughout your week. And but you can capture them and see them in your journey. And when you do, then what we have is we have AI that can come in and really help you examine that, right? So here's a coaching session that Luke had with Yoda, and he's really got some identity challenges and self-limiting beliefs, and so he can come in here and reflect on this kind of content, right? And like it could be like, oh wait, I wanted to think about that again, or he could click into the transcript. And I was trying to get this functionality done for today, didn't happen, but he could go click in and see, wait, what did we say in that time, right? So, or you could then have like the meeting notes, right? Like, okay, so we did an assessment about Luke Skywalker here, and he's got some self-doubt to self-mastery, like he's really growing, right? Or he's transformed his reckless tendencies into wisdom, right? So this is the core, right? And basically this is like an Instagram feed of your moments of reflection, and it can go on and on and on for decades. Like just like that's my whole idea, is like this is the well-worn notebook that a leader can take with them from role to role to role, and like have different coaching experiences throughout it. The center is this concept is from the Luke Skywalker and Yoda quote, but also I think Jerry Colonna, who wrote Reboot, references this a lot in his books, but this idea of going into the cave, because that's where you're going to have stillness and be able to reflect. So I've got, different things here, like let's talk about what your values are. These are often things that coaches will do onboarding with you for to understand. I already have an MVP PRD for a game to like identify the activities that charge your energy up or drain your battery, or, and I'm thinking about how to code a game, like integrated into my app, which is super fun. You'd have goals in here, the personality stuff, etc. And then you would have your coaching page. So this would be where, right now we've got Yoda as his coach, but you could have multiple coaches coming through. You can have preferences. My coaching interface allows coaches to basically impersonate their clients. So their tab is practice to manage their coaching practice, clients, field manager clients, and then profile. But when they go to their clients, they can kind of see the journey that all the other people had. But I want to make sure that there can be privacy settings, right? So sometimes you don't want to share everything with your coach. Also here, I would envision building things out like, if it's 2 a.m. and I want to talk to Yoda and he's not available, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll talk to an AI version of Yoda, or maybe I'll talk to an AI version of Arate, and then integrate that into my coaching experience, so that it's not like, you have coaching happening in all these disparate places. But if you're making a human connection and making an investment with a coach, I think it's really powerful to keep it all included in that context. So, so this is the consumer, or not the consumer, this is the member view of the app, and that's my demo.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Casey. This is amazing. Next up, so we don't have time for questions. So next up we have Z, but thank you so much, Casey. The UI looks awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Let me share my screen. Oh no. I might have to jump back in because my Chrome just got updated.
No worries. You can jump back in, and if
Yep.
Serena,
30 seconds.
Yeah, or you could go after Serena if you want.
Okay, I can do that. Yep.
Awesome. Serena, do you want to?
Yep, no problem. Hang on 1 second. Let me share my screen. Okay, cool. So first off, hi everyone. My name is Serena Dalla Brookshire. I am very excited today to share Nick AI, which is a AI sports coaching app focused on racket sports, starting with squash. For those of you who are not familiar with the game, it's an indoor racket sport. It's actually huge globally. But the biggest opportunity it has is actually being able to sort of get access to it. So it requires sort of access to courts. And the problem that this product is really trying to solve is to access to expertise. So typically, finding a coach is an issue, and then also really paying for the coach is an issue. And so the goal for this and the problem we're trying to solve is really to provide more expertise to players at all levels to improve and elevate their game. So today I'm going to show you essentially the simple process that we created in this boot camp. This was an idea I'd had for the better part of almost 2 years and just didn't know how to get started. So really, again, thank you to Qasim and Ha for inviting me to this. I really feel like this has just energized me and I'm super excited to kind of get this out to more players. So essentially what I'm going to show you today is the core experience, which is essentially being able to take a video either of yourself playing or a pro, upload it into the application, and then access the expert coaching analysis. So let's get started. Okay, so first off is just a simple kind of login experience. I'm not going to bore you with sort of the mechanics of that, but essentially you enter your name, your email, you create an account. I'm going to show you one that's already created, which is mine. And essentially you get your dashboard. Now, when you are a competitive player, you'll find that when you go to a lot of these tournaments, there's two things that are happening. So most of the time, players are actually recording their matches so that they can review them afterwards, and then sometimes actually go to a coach and have sort of deeper analysis, or they are streamed live through the tournament channel and accessed through YouTube. So what I'm going to show you today is essentially just the ability to upload your own video. So we have the upload batch video section. You can choose a file. I choose this demo day video, and I'm going to upload it. And this was really cool because I learned kind of through this process that not all LLMs are created equal. And so really like video language models are not the same. And so this one is actually accessing a video language model. So here, let me show you. So when you analyze the video now, you can actually see the game in the window. You can play the game. You can seek throughout. We're in the process of building out some more advanced zone tracking. What I want to actually show you is the overall match summary, which is sort of a macro view of the game itself. So while that's loading, what was really interesting about sort of creating this, here, I'll show you one that's, while it's loading. Here, I'm going to show you this. I just pre-ran it, so we have it, is that I was super impressed with the ability for the AI to actually, oh, it's not going, hold on a second. Just give it a minute. Here, let me share actually a different screen. Hold on one second. Oh, it just ran. What I was going to show you is the ability for the AI to actually identify the player. So it can actually identify which player is which through very differentiated features based on the clothing, the hair type, etc. That was super cool. Did that on multiple versions. I even put like a non-squash video, and it said it, you know, couldn't identify. So that was very interesting. But calls out, we were able to build the prompts around the strengths of each player, from overall macro strengths, their areas of opportunity, as well as tactical recommendations. And the best part about the advice is that you can actually see player A versus player B, and then what you need to actually do if you compete with them in the future. And then one of the things I wanted to validate was the quality of the advice. So I actually had a professional coach review this, and the advice was actually pretty spot on. So that was really like an aha moment for me that this has a lot of legs. So more to come in terms of the future capabilities we build out here. Again, we're going to look at zone tracking. We're going to do some integration with sort of the tournament schedule so you can monitor your progress for, again, those professional players. One other thing I want to show you real quick, though, if you go back to the dashboard, is the ability to also load YouTube videos. So a lot of folks, if they're not doing their own videos, a lot of folks actually want to understand what the pros are doing. And so if you take a video of a pro, just take one here. Sorry, hold on a second. you'll see, again, the ability to access the YouTube directly within the site experience to seek through it. And then from a match summary standpoint, it goes in depth around each of the players. So you can actually learn from players better, right, from the pros. So I'll show you once it loads kind of the analysis.
Last 1 minute.
Last 1 minute. I'll just end here by saying, if anyone is interested in elevating their game, don't hesitate to reach out. I was inspired by squash, but I think there's a broader opportunity here with other racket sports. So pickleball players, padel players, tennis, etc. It's coming your way. So don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to have you join our private beta. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. This is super awesome, Serena. Amazing job. Next up, do we have Z?
Yep, I'm back.
Awesome.
Right. Okay, it's working now. Great. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? There
Yes.
you go. All right. So the tool I built, the app I built during the bootcamp is very simple. It's called the FinBI. So I work at Amazon. I'm a fintech product manager. So my customers are financial analysts and finance leaders. So a lot of times they have a lot of business questions, and the tool is to help them to translate their business question into insights. So they don't have to write SQL, don't have to remember where the tables are, or to figure out if anything changed in the backend, right? So it's kind of accelerate that from question to insight cycle. So I'm going to jump into the demo real quick. And I had it deployed, but I used the AI to generate synthetic data. So it gave me 1 million records. So it's running a little bit slow on the, I guess, the cloud backend. So I'm just using a local version here so we can get the result back quickly. So log in here. So fairly simple interface. You come in here, essentially it's a chat interface where you can see kind of the chat window, the questions such as the system. So there are two major, I would say, workflows. One is your text to SQL to insight workflow. Another one is knowledge-based management. So we can go into the text to SQL. So just pick one of the such as question here, or you can type your own questions. So for simplicity, let's just say calculate monthly growth rate for 2024. And this information is coming from the backend. So the system will look at your past histories, kind of the questions, and generate these questions ahead of time. So let's hit enter here. So what's it doing right now? The first thing the application does is take the question you have, trying to look up previous information, business context, trying to enhance the question, right? So it knows that we have the different columns, the different account mapping scenario for actuals, etc. And also it brings back, hey, what's the context being added? So we don't have 2024, we have the actual scenarios, what's the revenue columns, what's the table name, and also, hey, I'm telling you, well, here's all the assumptions that AI is making on behalf of the user. So you have the ability to say, you know what, I want to add in more original questions, or I want to enhance the question that's being enhanced, right? So let's just give a shot here. So I know that let's also include product line name here, right? So instead of just the months over months, I want to see by product line. So now we submit it. So what it's doing right now, it's taking this information back to the LM to generate the SQL. And so also do another lookup to making sure I understand what's in the database, what does this question mean. So give a second for this to come back. There we go. Oh, so it generates the SQL. It looks pretty good. So it knows that I need to pick for the account group, the metric. So what it didn't do, it's kind of the product line. So it kind of didn't really include it. But you have another opportunity here to modify the query here. So let's say, hey, can you include product line name as well, right? So now you can modify the SQL with the natural language. So essentially you can say, hey, that doesn't look right, but can you do this? And also the reason we have the SQL showing here is for some of the analysts, they're pretty familiar with the database. So you can just copy the SQL template and save it for future usage. So give a second here. Oh, there you go. So now I say, okay, I'm going to add a product line here. It also generates the kind of the previous months. There seems to be an issue here. So if it's a division by 0, so we can say, let's modify it again. Can you handle division by 0 issue? Okay. So we can continue to keep talking to the SQL query as well as continue to modify it, making sure it runs against the database. Okay, there you go. So it added a clause, making sure it's going to catch that issue here. And it's tracking the modification history, so you can actually see what are the modifications done. So now it looks pretty good. Let's just execute it. Let's collapse this. So the process now is the SQL will go through a validation process to making sure it's not running anything unsafe, such as drop, delete tables. But once the SQL results generated, the app essentially takes the data frame that has all the result and pass it back to the LM again to do kind of an inside analysis. So let's give it a second for it to come back. So while it's running, can just, oh, there we go, it came back, okay. So there's a few things here. One is it gives the user the result table, I'll say tabular format. So from a financial analysis standpoint, a lot of times they still want to take the data out to essentially do a pivot table offline so they can export the CSV. And also they can do some basic kind of manipulation here on the table. So they can say, just give me AirPods or iPhone. So essentially a search table, they can look at the data quickly. So it's paginated, making sure it's not overflowing. Once they're happy with that, they can also see it from a LM. It will essentially, based on the data, give you some key highlights, right? 2024, the Apple product line have a revenue growth. It tells you which particular product line, iPhone. Key findings, what is the business implication, some trend and patterns, and also give recommendations on follow-up analysis. So this information is ideally the business analyst or the financial analyst have to kind of go back and create this kind of a narrative based on the data. So once this is done, so one of the things you can train your knowledge base. So remember the information here. So in the future, as you're typing in different questions, they can look back to the questions you have asked. So let's just say train the knowledge base here. Okay. So additionally, after you recommend the insight, it generates follow-up questions. We can continue the kind of the analysis. So this is entire session here. It's been recorded in a short-term memory. So you can essentially have a back and forth session similar to how you talk to ChatGPT or Claude. So just one thing real quick, just some of the quality of life features as part of application, some about real quick, show you here. User, test, user, 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, when you log back in, it remembers the previous session, right? You have 7 questions being asked. They want to see, do you want to resume a session or start a new session? So you can say, okay, let's resume a session. So it remembers what you did, the SQL, the data, the insight, so you can continue to your conversation without losing track. And in the future, right now, this is kind of just more of a quick summary of the session. Ideally, we want to implement the ability to essentially pull back your maybe the recent 10 chats. Okay. So now let's jump to the knowledge base section, right? So this is a pretty simple view. So this is allow the app to essentially build understanding of your business. So you can upload 3 types of knowledge, right? Documentation. This is, if you take a look at this is essentially about the database, my business, sample data, data patterns, some of the sample SQLs. So essentially the application learns using this to reason through the database. And you can also include the table, the DDL, so it knows the table definition, the column names. And this is the one we just added earlier, right? So we say month over month. So let's take a look. So essentially, this is the question we asked. This is the SQL generated. And just to show that how it's been used, so let me come back to the chat again, start a new chat. So pick the same question. Calculate growth rate for 2024.
1 minute.
Almost done. Yep. So let's just say continue. Should take a second to come back. So now it's just the division by 0 has been fixed, product line has been added. So it knows that, hey, you already asked similar questions, right? So I know this is kind of the pattern you're looking for. So it kind of takes that from the knowledge base and apply that right away. So fairly simple application. So one of the enhancement so I'm planning to put in for enterprise deployment is essentially integrate with the cloud providers, such as AWS, Bedrocks, and also improve kind of the insight generation, as well as kind of provide maybe potentially a agentic flow where the LLM itself essentially reasons through the information, kind of run multi-pass equals iterate against the database to provide the insight without you kind of continue to prompt the questions. That's it.
Super cool. And you did this in 4 weeks, and you were in China for like
Yeah.
half of it.
Yes.
This is super awesome. Thank you so much, Z.
you.
Next up, we have Tricia.
Cool. 1 second. Okay.
Yeah.
So, hi everyone. My name is Tricia Maya. I am head of product at TED, like TED Talks. This idea has nothing to do with my day job, so I'm going to take you on a little journey. It's also quite different from all the amazing projects that we've seen today. In that, what I was trying to create was a product that could help people establish healthier boundaries with their digital devices. And so what I'm calling effectively phone boundary, branding TBD, it's meant to be a place. So you could imagine like you open it on a laptop or a tablet or something, like you put it somewhere in your house. And it's meant to be a place where you physically place your phone in order to encourage people disconnecting, not just from their applications, but physically from their devices. And sort of the value prop that I'm, going for is that there are many, many apps out there. There's Focus Time, and in the native iOS settings, there's Brick. There's all these different products that really encourage people to block certain apps, set rules, set limits, and those are all great. But I haven't seen anything that really encourages and enables this physical separation from your device, which has been proven to have additional benefits. So even if your phone's off and in your pocket, there's sort of like, a physiological effects that it has on you. So anyway, I have future aspirations to make this potentially a hardware product, but I was starting with an MVP application. What could I do to start to test some of these very basic rituals to see if this is a user behavior people could get used to, like is this something that I could build on further? So I'm gonna switch to the demo. So this is the landing page. If you're coming to phoneboundary.com, you sort of get a feel of what the application is. Like I just mentioned, a lot of what it's meant to do is encourage these physical separations. Very, very simple app. So here you're setting your intention, beginning a ritual, and then coming back. So this is just a basic landing page. Hopefully you're very intrigued and you want to create an account or log in. So for the sake of time, I'll just log in with an existing account that I already have. You see it's a pretty simple login. I integrated sign in via Google just to make it a little bit easier, and basic sort of account confirmation emails and all of that are set up. So logging in. I swear it was working 5 minutes ago. So give me a second. Let me just try one more time. I did test this like 10 times before, and of course it's not working now, but that's how live demos go. So we're just gonna roll with it. Not sure what's happening. Should we pivot to someone else while I troubleshoot this, Kasim?
Yes.
Firing off your back.
Oh, wait. We're
there you
here.
go. Yeah.
We got it. So I don't know what happened there, but basically you'd land on this screen where it's the call to action is meant to be very simple. So you want to start a ritual. So imagine you start the ritual, you put your phone down, you walk away. So this timer will be going. We have sort of this like ambient imagery in the background. And you're literally meant to just physically leave the area. When you come back, you press end ritual. And there's simple questions of like, did you keep your phone away? If you click no, it would be an unsuccessful session. And I'll show you what this looks like. But say for the sake of this demo, we were able to stay away. So we said yes. So it brings me to the dashboard where you can see all of my rituals logged here. And again, you'll see an incomplete versus successful demarcation. At the top, you'll see the total minutes that you've practiced within your account. any streaks you have, like your current streak, your longest streak, and then some very, very simple sort of like out of the box milestones. So if you hover over these different pills, you'll see what they mean. So this is like twice in a day, obviously like sort of straightforward, but like what's a night owl or quick focus? So like there's different encouragement for people to hopefully keep going. So the more that they use the product, the more that they'll get out of it. So say you wanted to start a new ritual. I showed one of the modes. There's a few out of the box modes. So say forest wasn't your thing. You really felt calm in water based imagery, so that you could change your settings to that. Say I did not keep my phone away, so I'm not going to count that session. And then one more time, maybe I'm really trying to find the right mode. There's also just like a very simple default mode. It's like changes the gradient ever so slightly as you're going along. If you click the back button by accident, the ritual actually just won't even record. So this is like just a mistake. So you're not necessarily logging it as a success or failure. So say that was a mistake. I didn't want to do that. But actually you want to go full screen. And I'm not sure how this is showing in Meets, but on your screen, this would actually take up the entirety of the screen. So you really would have no other distractions on your device. I'm going to end this ritual. And I think the thing is, and I think this is what I'm seeing as sort of the difference in some of the other apps, is like, especially with a consumer app focused on wellness and like literally physical separation from digital devices, I didn't want the AI to be too much front and center in the user experience. There's a lot of AI fatigue and even sort of like AI fear. And so I think future versions, I want to lean more into sort of AI recommendations for like, what else could you be doing to establish healthier patterns beyond just logging your progress here? So I do think that there are really smart ways that we can incorporate AI into the consumer experience, but you'll notice that I was, particularly hesitant about sort of making it a defining feature. This is really meant to establish sort of that physical boundary with your device. So yeah, that's it. In the future, like I said, I'd love to figure out sort of like physical products in this space and how to connect them to potentially mobile applications. So I will test the limits of what I can do with vibe coding, but this is my MVP.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trisha. And thank you for like catching up to the entire bootcamp. So I know you were traveling as well, but amazing job. Awesome. Next up, we have Garrett.
Hello. Let's see. All right, everybody, I'm Garrett. I created this slide like 10 minutes ago, but Noodle's what I'll be presenting today. It's the problem I'm trying to solve is world driven towards intellectual atrophy by being outsourced to AI. And my mission here with Noodle is to equip every thinker with powerful tools that sharpen critical thinking, complex problem solving, and decision making. So my vision, sorry, I got to reshare here. Oops, apologies. This is just the first module for Noodle. My vision is to have a home screen where you'll have like, this will be the problem solving tool, and then there'll be like a daily riddle, and then there'll be a different like storytelling with branching decisions as you go through it. And so there's different exercises, mental fitness exercises that tackle a different type of cognitive ability. The one I wanted to start with was problem solving, because it relates to my work and we all have problems we want to solve, and I felt like it would be the hardest. So I will demo here. So I'll do a problem that a lot of people have. I'm struggling to sleep at night and wake up tired every morning. So if you try to proceed without giving enough context for the AI prompt to really effectively help you, it'll prompt you, and I've updated this flow, but I haven't pushed it to Git yet, so it looks a little cleaner and better. But the idea is, okay, you mentioned struggling to sleep and you wake up tired. Okay, well, let's think through like the full length of the problem. I struggle to relax my mind. I'm constantly thinking about my to-do list for the next day and the things that stress me out. So now you can go, because you gave a little bit more context. You kind of went into enough detail. So now this is a first principles exercise. And so you're going to try to put in what do you think are causal factors and then potential assumptions you might be making. So biases. So a lot of times people will say, well, I think it's this. And it's like, okay, well, is that an objective truth, a fact, or is it an assumption that you might need to test? And so by going through these things, it gives the AI more information to be able to help you. So I have ADHD, let's say. I live next to really loud neighbors. My bed's not very comfortable and my back hurts. So I'm constantly tossing and turning. I'll skip the assumptions, but you can click any of these as guidance along the way. And so what each one does is it evaluates everything you've inputted up to that point, as well as common causes to this type of problem that exist in the world. And so the first section is what the users inputted, and then the other is helping the user discover what else might be happening that they might not be thinking of or might not have inputted. So the whole point of this is not to give answers or tell you what the answers are. It's to guide you to reach fundamental foundational drivers so that you can identify the true root causes. And then as you continue, actually, I'll go back to give an example. And as you continue, it'll help you get to the solution that it might work best for you, but it's all recommendations, it's all insight. And so my goal with this was to kind of treat this AI as a coach and like strategic coach and guide, and for you to solve a problem. But also I'm trying to use this as like a flow, as a thinking process. So as you're going through it, you go through it enough times, it's starting to train you on how to think about problems, how to get to first principles, how to challenge your own assumptions and bias. And then this one is, people often talk about problems like, oh, it's external. So this problem I'm experiencing is over there. It's this person, or it's this environment, or it's my work, or it's my boss. And so this is sort of, this is a thought experiment to avoid people like kind of putting blame or the AI telling you, well, what's your problem with this? Like, what are you contributing to it? So it's a bit of a perspective shift to say, if you were to perpetuate the problem, what actions could you take? I could drink before I go to bed every night. I could stay up late eating ice cream and watching scary movies. And then this whole AI prompt is all about analyzing sort of, if you did that, here's what would probably happen if that continued, and here's like a consequence of that, and also helping you explore other things. Oh, cool, doom scrolling at night. I wonder if you do that. Caffeine throughout the day, a lack of a consistent calming bedtime routine, et cetera, et cetera. So then you could always go back and add more if you want. And then it kind of flips it on its head to say, okay, now that you've listed all these things, which of these things do you think is actually contributing to the problem? I'll put ice cream and movies, even though it's a lie. And so then the idea here is, for each cause, there should be a potential solution or action you could take to address that cause. And hopefully you've edited it to be more root cause. Possible action is like, I could buy a new mattress, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see what it says, actually. So I tried to train it to avoid surface level, or to analyze if somebody's giving is surface level. And then if it is, to challenge them on a more of a root cause thing that they could explore. Or if it is a root cause, to validate that that's a great cause to address, and some potential discovery things on how to do that. I'm going to skip this with gibberish. This is the worries. A lot of things that prevent people from actually doing a thing is that they're worried about what will happen, or fear, failure, whatever it might be. So I'm gonna do none of the above. I'm going to use Trisha's app and keep my phone very far away. And then this is an AI that analyzes everything you put in, and it comes up, pulls out key insights. The primary action based on what you inputted, some supporting actions you could also do, a timeline recommendation, and some feedback, because the goal of this is training people how to think really well. And so here's how you went through the flow and what you did well. Did you really do a good job analyzing your assumptions and being honest about them? Did you do a good job admitting your role in things, et cetera? And then areas for growth as well. And then, a little bit of a confidence boost to send you on your way. Then you can save the history. You can download it as an image PDF or view the summary at any point again in the future, or delete it if you want to. And then you could always search by timeline or problem statement.
Awesome. So just to point out, Garrett and Z use the least amount of engineering time. So amazing job. You guys put this all together. This was awesome.
My goal is to get it all voice activated, so you could do it on mobile and just talk into it. But I wanted to map it out in text first to wrap my brain around how this would work, and then I could just easily train the voice prompt how to do it well. So that's next. Thank you.
Let's discuss that, because you could use the real-time API by OpenAI, and it will be able to do these things.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Garrett. Next up, we have Mark.
Yes, hello everyone. I am going to share my screen. 1 second. All right, so I am building commerce apps, so I decided to do a demo store. I went with this because there's a lot of opportunity for platform level products, not just generic chat, etc. So I want to tinker on this one. And then I'll put this in the context of the store. So welcome to Vibe Infused Living. And what makes this app useful is that it's a lightweight commerce app that lets online store owners easily view, add items, and edit their product catalog. And then there are 3 things here. One is this is embedded, so it seamlessly integrates with the Shopify platform. And then it utilizes a lot of blocks, extension, etc. So I learned a ton in terms of how to vibe code in conjunction with existing tools. The second one is this is a meta product, so it's supposed to function behind the scenes that will be published on the store, and then making online store management simpler and more efficient. And then the third one is, again, it's utility focused. So it allows store owners to set up things behind the scenes so that they can focus on running their store. Yeah, so let's go with how you access this. So the way to access this is actually directly by going into the Shopify.com site. So you have to create an account. And then in this case, I have the store. So we can click on it. And then it's embedded as one of the apps for the store. So when it's published, anyone who has a Shopify account can use my app. So that's the beauty of this one. And then when you click on the editor, the first thing that you'll see is the homepage. So for this homepage, oh, by the way, there are 2 ways to access it. You can go directly by logging in, or if you're on the site, you can actually customize your theme, which redirects to the similar navigation. And then you can click on the, let me see, the settings. Oh, sorry, exit this one, and then you go to the same side nav. So again, the product lives in conjunction with everything else, and then this is the homepage of the app. So the first one is this is so I created the app. So there's a sort of a congratulatory message to myself where you can modify the product, and then the first thing that I did is I want the store owners to have the ability to customize their product. So for example, product list. So for example, this product list is vibe coded to pull from the catalog, and then I was able to customize the columns here based on what I want to see. And this is a variation of what you'll see if you go to the native product catalog, because this one has certain categories that, certain columns that are helpful but not tied to what I want to do. So that's the first thing that I did. I put the catalog directly and then modify the column to show if it's active or not, similar to the previous one. but the type is here, which I'm planning to use, and then sort of the vendor. So that's the first part of the app. The core feature is actually here in the FlexiPick tab. So in this case, this is where the mission control happens for the merchants. So you can either select the product ID and say that, oh, this specific side table or couch belong to a holiday collection, etc., and then assign that as a group, or you can create a new one, which can be a variation for the product. So for example, let's go with size, and then let's say that this size is for a product option. You can create options here to say small, and then you can add an option medium. Oh, there's also some error controls here. So for example, if I try to create this one, hit create, it will say that you need 2 options. So I spent a little bit of time there because this is supposed to be functional for store owners, and then large. So once you have all the options, you can create the category, and then that category will be listed down along with the other sort of FlexiPick, and then you can modify them if you want to, remove options, save, etc. So this is the heart of what I'm trying to do. And then there's add-on feature around, importing, exporting, and then viewing traffic once it's ready. Let me see. All right, so that's mostly it. The way this shows up is, again, this is the behind the scenes. If you want to access that, you can go to the store. So in this case, again, this goes back to being embedded. You can customize the theme. You can pick a certain product. And then if you can pick, because it's a block, you can go into a certain portion. Let's say you want to put it here. Let's see. Let's just put it here below. So apps, and then let's say we want to customize the fields. You can add it here, and then it shows up as an option based on what you've selected. So that's the core, and then based on everything you did, you can customize the certain sections. And then, yeah, finally, this is the last one that I added. So I'm thinking when you create an embedded app, it slows down the storefront. So I was like playing around. Okay, you have this tool. There are like web core vitals that you can check, and then how do you put that together? So this is in the works. There's a test running, but it's supposed to tell you whether the block that you're creating is slow or fast. That's really it. So hope you enjoyed that walkthrough, and I am going to hand it over to you, Kasim.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. And yeah, your project was super interesting because it was directly working with Shopify and integrating with Shopify. Again, something that like vibe coding platforms can't do. So you were able to do it through the entire bootcamp. So awesome job. Next up we have Ha.
Yay. Okay. So I'm going to first screen share, tell you a little bit more about my project. So hi, everyone. My name is Ha. And for those of you who might not know me, sometimes I'm known as a super connector because being in tech for 25 years, I have 15,000 LinkedIn connections, and people are always asking me for intros to folks in my network. I've been talking to Kasim about this idea that I've had in my head for the last 4 or 5 months, where I'm like, every time people ask me of like, hey, Ha, who do you know who, is a yogi instructor with a lot of followers? I'm like, gosh, I know somebody in my network. It just, I just can't remember at the moment. And I just think LinkedIn search tools are horrible. And so I've wanted to build this, like what I'm calling super connector AI tool that allows anybody to use AI and natural language to surface the best network matches, either leveraging their own networks or maybe a super connectors network to connect to the right people faster. And the problem statement is that all of us are sitting on a gold mine of connections because over the years, we have thousands now of connections, but we just don't really have the best way to activate the network when we need it most. And so that's what I'm trying to solve. Okay. Any questions? And then what I want to do is just do a search in real time. And it's just going to take a minute or two to do a search. So let me ask anybody from the audience to go off of mute and give me a query that they want to input. So
I think
anybody?
somebody already posted in the chat.
Oh, I know. I already did that one, but I want something live. Just.
Hey, hi, it's Rachna.
Hi, Rachna.
I'm wondering, can you find me people in your network who are in the wine business?
Ah, okay. Let's see if it comes up. So find me folks who are in the wine industry. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So it's going to search. And while it searches, I'm going to actually do the demo. Okay. So the first thing is you log in. I'm already logged in. It will have you upload the CSV file of your connections if you're looking to search across your own connections. What I want to be able to also surface, say it allow you to access my connections if you want to also search my connections. But in this case, if you want to search across your own connections, you upload a file. Once you upload the file, and I won't do it right now because with 15,000 connections, it takes a long time to load. But you'll be able to then see all of my connections, and it's taking a while to load, so I might have to go back to the screen. But it will load like 15,000 connections. I'll save it to the database, and then I'm ready to query it. So I've already started to like put in a bunch of different queries just so that you can sort of see the results page. Let's see if it's still searching on the wine. Okay, so the first query I did, you know, I used to be in venture, and I always like to find like other people who are in venture because founders are always approaching me. It's like, hey, what VCs can you introduce me to? And so this is the first query I did. Find me a VC based in Austin that invests in consumer seed stage startups. Because I used to work for a company called Swimply. And we were always looking at investors in our network that invested in consumer and seed stage, and then sometimes a specific locale. So you'll see that this is like the search results. Does a few things. It tells me, what the best matches are. When I was connected to them, a little bit about their headline, why the AI thinks it's a good match, and why the AI thinks it might not be the ideal match. And then I can always verify by clicking on their LinkedIn profile, and I get to say, okay, I don't know Angelos that well, so let me just check to make sure that like makes a lot of sense. Maybe not the best match, but Brian, I do know. Brian is based in Austin. He invests in venture capital. He doesn't do that much seed stage consumer, but he does do other things. But again, I can kind of just look and verify that Brian is exactly who I want to reach out to. And I look at it, he looks pretty good. So what I can do is I can send Brian an email and, and then ask him if he would love to grab coffee when I'm in Austin, or if I'm making the connection for somebody else, I might like write down, hey, Brian, I'd love to introduce you to blah, blah, blah. So that's the basic interface. UI, I'll probably enhance the UI a little bit later, but I'll show you some of the other searches that I did in real time while the demos were taking place. So Nancy, I think you were asking about fintech founders in SF in New York City. So it pulled up some fintech founders. So Cormac, fintech founders in New York with multiple successful exits. And again, I can always go verify on their LinkedIn. So they're based in New York with multiple exits, but maybe not so much fintech. This person, Alex, fintech and DeFi events, so I can just go through. Castly, I know pretty well, and that was a pretty good search result. I went through and did other things. So this is Stan for you. Find me a customer success manager or directors at B2B SaaS companies who are responsible for analytics or BI insights. So it found me some good matches. I was taking a look at this while you were demoing. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I like it, you know. And then let's see, this one was fun. Find me a yoga or meditation instructors who have lots of followers. And it's so funny that it found me some interesting matches. So Deanne is a yogini. Is that what it is? It's like, is that a yoga instructor? But like, yeah. So that's pretty good. Nate, you know, is a self-described yogi with 10,000 followers, and it did that. So it looks pretty good. Okay, let's go look at find me folks who are in the wine industry. So you can see Eric and Christy. Oh, Christy also has wine. Look at that. She has a wine. So let's like take a look at her profile. Yeah, she's something with wine, huh? She looks pretty good. So yeah, that's very cool. So I'm like looking, and so that's the starting point. You know, it's a pretty simple MVP because I was in Europe for 2 weeks during the boot camp, but I have a lot of very cool ideas on how to extend the features. I'm going to be participating in boot camp too, by the way. So if any of you sign up, you'll be in the boot camp with me for boot camp too, so that I can actually spend a lot more time on the product. But what I'm hoping is that for any of you who would love warm intros to my network, I'm going to give you the tool with my login to play around with it. And then I'm happy to make 2 or 3 connections to anybody in my network. And in exchange, you can give me feedback on the quality of the search results, what other feature enhancements you'd like to see, you know, as I continue to work on it in bootcamp too. But that's, yeah, that's a little bit about my product. And I have a whole long roadmap on it. So I think I'm going to be just taking Kasim's bootcamp multiple times, you know, so keep extending the product. And one day I'm going to monetize it and make a lot of money off of my connections. I'll still figure out how, but it's percolating.
Amazing. I'm glad like it's finally live, like you have it, it's functional. So that's super cool. We've been thinking about this for a long time. Okay, awesome. So next up we have Desi. Yep, Desi. And I'd recommend everybody sticking around because we have only 3 more demos left, and you would want to stick around for the last one for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Kasim. So my name is Desi. I'm head of product at TikTok right now. So like the idea came about as like one of my friends is wanting to start her own practice. So she's lawyer, she's good at lawyering, but the things that like she's not sure about is like getting like client leads and all the admin processes, right? So this is kind of like a result of like brainstorming session with her. What I found out during like the process is like the case intake process for like new client for a law firm is very inefficient. There's usually like one admin dedicated, 1 or 2 admin, depending on the case volume dedicated, just like to manage the case intake process. So the client onboarding is like very inefficient. Like they have to go back and forth with email just to do like scheduling. The documents are like scattered around like different, like 3 different systems. Like the data are also like very fragmented. Like there's no like clear analytics. There's no, I think like there's lack of like data-driven insights in a lot of like law firms, especially the smaller ones. So these are like the problem like we encountered. So during like the bootcamp, I came up with the like prototype of intake intel. It's basically an intelligent like client intake and case management, where like we're trying to streamline the case intake process for like small law firm. So the idea is to have like a single dashboard where the law firm can set up like appointment, manage like their all incoming cases, see like the transcript, and then decide whether they want to take this prospective client as a client or not. So let's go through the demo. I mean, this is kind of like some of the hopefully benefit after implementing. Like you save a lot of like hours. You have like higher conversion because like now you can like reply to your customer faster. Faster processing from prospecting into like signing the client, as well as like return on investment. So I'll demo kind of like 2 parts. the first part is like the setup, the kind of like the setting up process. So this is kind of like what you see when you first onboarded. A bunch of like features are unlocked because like you need to subscribe. I think in the future, I'll probably gonna do like a free trial feature so that like the firm can try it out before like actually have to pay. But anyway, you can unlock it by start subscribing right away. This is like still test account, but it hopefully work. Okay. Oh. I'll go to the one that is already set up. Yeah. So basically, this is kind of like how it looks like when all of like when you start, when you already like subscribe and then like you already like set up like a few things. So this is kind of like a dashboard, how it look like. This is like the first thing is like you need to set up like how your intake form should be. So you can customize your like form URL. You can create like your own message, like some additional information about your law firm, like kind of like branding, and then like how the intake form gonna look like is something like this, right? Like they'll ask, like right now it's not customized, but you can ask like your prospective client name, and like your email address, and then I have our accident. Yeah, something like that. Another kind of like feature that you can like set up from the law firm is you can connect your own calendar, and you can like set up like your availability on like when you'll be available to take the intake calls, and you can like block out some of like the dates as well. So kind of like integrated like calendar feature. And how it looked like. So for example, I blocked, let's block the additional dates. Let me see, like block 26. Yeah, but maybe you have to search. So yeah, like the 26 is also like blocked. So let's choose a time that you wanna make appointment. And like your connected calendar, you should be able to see like the Google invite, as well as the notification should be also sent to like your email. Okay, I'm not gonna show my email right now, but like the email notification will be sent into like your email, like your prospective client email, and as well as the calendar booking. And you can like join the Google Meet to join the meeting. So that's all kind of flow end to end. And then like after from the law firm perspective, they can monitor on like kind of like the funnel for like the intakes, right? Like how many leads like that firm get in the last 30 days or last 7 days, or like whatever time frame they want to choose. How many actually like book consultation, and how many are ended up like being engaged. What is the average engage from like start to finish? what is the engagement rate, what is the consultation rate. So and so basically kind of like a basic metrics on the funnel and average time to close. So let's see what we just submitted. So Kasim here need like a help for like car accident. So imagine that Kasim already did the intake call with like our admin. So what's gonna happen is we'll have like a transcript either from Google Meet or Otter or like any other like AI transcription tool, and you can add the transcription here as a documentation for the law firm. And what you can also do is to ask the AI to give recommendation whether this case should be taken or not. So in this case, it will generate a recommendation based on the calls transcript. So it will summarize what is the case is about in a kind of a 2-3 paragraph. And then like it will also like make a recommendation whether they should reject or like accept the case. And we also give kind of like percentage of confidence whether the like it's the AI's recommendation should be should be taken or not. So I think like another potential improvement is to train this model, right, based on like different cases and see like historical type of historical cases that law firm specifically take to improve the recommendations. And then you can also see like once like the meeting is like scheduled and like you review like the meeting notes, and you can either like reject it or you can and you can engage the client going forward. There's like multiple future iteration that we want to do too. So for example, after like a client is engaged, usually like we'll trigger like a contract signing process. So I think like another idea is to like integrate it with like DocuSign or like any other like third-party platform to automate the contract signing, contract sending and drafting, sending and like signing process, as well as like you're able to like kind of like export the case data to and integrate it with like existing law firm case management like Clio or like My Case or like the rest. So I think that's it. Like if you have any question or feedback, I also put like the email here. So like any hopefully like any like real user be able to like send like try out with like different feature and then like send me feedback if like there's any other like feature requests that you want to see in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Desi. This is super extensive. So amazing job. You've recreated multiple tools, live coded them. So amazing. And then second last, we have Katrina. Katrina, do you want to start? And then we'll end with Cheyenne.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm Katrina Patton, a product manager, consultant of GradUp, doing like marketing, product management, part-time consulting. But also I am, not to confuse it, with building out GradUp for opportunity youth. Those are individuals who are not working or in school. A lot of people do not know about this community. There are 4.5 million youth who are not working that are in school. And what's alarming is that there was just a recent study done by Jobs for the Future that says that there are 30% of Gen Zers today who do not feel prepared for life after graduation. So that's what really got me interested in this space. I'm an aunt of 10, and I have some nieces and nephews who have went on to college, and I have some like, college may not be for me, so what can I do? So I spend a lot of time trying to find them different trades or opportunities that they can pursue. And so that's what also is driving my interest in this space. So I'm not going to bore you with the details about the market opportunity. It told you a little bit about the target audience. Again, the end users will be the youth, but who I want the customers to be is really engaged with workforce boards, community college, youth serving nonprofits, local and state education agencies, and then show you a little bit later about the future roadmap. So I'm going to flip over to my application. So for today with GradUp, the MVP that I've created is simply a user opportunity youth going through, taking assessments, and from the assessments, they're getting matched with career opportunities, and then from there, they are matched with different training programs where they can take advantage of. So I'm going to log in. As soon as a user create an account, they will go straight to the dashboard. I hate that that's happening, and I pay for renders. I still don't know why it's slow. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, let me see if I can use an account I've already created. Oh no. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's taking so slow. So an user will land on this dashboard, and here they will not only see the Career Development Hub, which is the MVP you'll see today, but all the supportive services such as the AI resume builder, interview preparation, and career coaching, because ultimately I want this to be the one-stop shop when it comes to everything needed for opportunity you to be successful in finding not only a meaningful career pathway, but also succeeding in that career pathway. One thing I want to share is that I really want to bring in gamification along with that human touch. So essentially today you'll just see the Career Hub, but after the Career Hub, they will actually can unlock the other different modules that can support them with their career pathway. So I'm going to go through the Career Development Hub. So you stop the module, and essentially the student can go and complete the career assessment. So based off interest, personality, work ethic, and value. So I'm just going to go through like one, I enjoy working with tools and machinery, and I'm just going to randomly go through and complete this this assessment, since there's 4 sections. The other one is around their skills, like I'm good at solving complex problems and that require analytical thinking. There. Next one would be around work values, what's important to me, like stable employment is very important to me. And then the last thing, personality, like, I'm someone who tends to be disorganized, etc. Not me, but that's a question. And just so you know, for these particular assessments, these are industry standard assessments. I'm using RISIC, which is by the John Holland. He's a workforce career assessment guru, and this is where it's being pulled from, and also leveraging APIs from the Department of Labor. And they have a lot of different APIs that help with career matching. So that's what I'm leveraging to pull this. User will get career recommendations based off of their assessment programs, from their interests, their skills, values, and it's telling them the end user exactly why that this career pathway is a great fit for them. And then we're going to pull back 3 different career matches and telling them why they're a good career match, and giving them more details about the particular position, as well as not only the job outlook, right? Is it a declining or inclining role, but also the skills that they'll be able to develop, and then the training programs that exist for what they are. So for instance, after me doing this assessment, it says that I should look into market research analyst and a marketing specialist. So I'm going to go through and click on this. And it should pull back a little bit more details about that role, but also training programs that exist. So here are all the different training programs. Again, a little bit more around the day in life, skills and knowledge, salary information, and then the training program. What did not pull back here is WIOA grants. These are government grants that individuals could get to get vouchers to get training from local programs. So that also will be included. And then if you click on the training program, then it'll go through. So one thing in this MVP, I am still working on the search results to be a little bit more dynamic, and also advanced search results that if I'm putting in my actual zip code, then I could find more programs that are going to be very specific. And then also featuring different training programs that where there is a shortage. For instance, as we all know, there's a shortage in nursing, there's a shortage in trades such as electricians, plumbers, etc. So being able to bubble up and highlight that. So yeah, that's my MVP.
That's super awesome, Katrina. Amazing job. Amazing. Let me know if you need help with Firecrawl eventually, but this is super cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. And then we have Cheyenne. This is going to be a really cool demo. So everyone, please stick around for Cheyenne's demo. Cheyenne, do you want to share your screen? So Cheyenne did not only build one product, he built multiple products. So I don't know which one he's going to be demoing. And this is all within the bootcamp itself. In 4 weeks, he built 2 products, and each product has multiple products.
Right. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you for putting everybody's hopes really, really high, because I don't know where I'll be, but let's go. So, yes, we spoke about 2 products. This is the first one. This was actually an afterthought. I started with something else, but since I kept on building on this one, and it really eventually turned into something bigger than what I had imagined. So let's start here. So this is an AI automation tool where it's going to help you. This is for restaurants, SMBs. It's going to change the game for restaurants so they can get more presence on the digital sphere. There's going to be AI that's going to help them run campaigns. It's going to help them with their website. It's going to help them with their marketing stuff, which means like social media, other campaigns like email, SMS. So and then overall, getting them in the right direction. So that's our landing page. If you log in, sorry. Oh, that's someone? Okay, great. So if you hit login, you get your landing page. But before we go there, I created this little AI snippet, right? This tool is basically supposed to guide you in. It's going to tell you what Uplit is doing, and then it can also answer a few questions, and eventually also be able to kind of like sell you into this, and tell you the value that can be created. So it will actually talk to you and come back with responses, and then guide you throughout that process, right? So this is eventually going to be bigger than this. I mean, once you log in, it's going to change its role, and it's going to understand your data for that particular restaurant on whatever is happening on their digital side and the marketing side. And then for admins, when they log in, it's going to tell them what's happening on the overall portal. So I'm going to go ahead now and log into our restaurant credentials. I hope this works. I think it will take 30 seconds because I was working on the other one, and it's going to turn the backend guy on. So let's wait for a few seconds, but it should work. But meanwhile, I'm going to talk a little bit about the industry, right? So I am from the restaurant tech industry, and we've been doing self-service kiosks, POS systems, online ordering, and more. But what we've seen is this market is really underserved when it comes to technology. And then there's a lot of hype that's going on. Like I've seen that there there are many acquisitions happening. There are many big players coming in the market, and there are a lot of investments that are going in. See, I now know some of this stuff, so I knew it would work, right? So thanks to SnapDev, you'll get these advertisements in the middle. So, this is the dashboard that you see right here. And you see a lot of stuff going on, but, first of all is analytics, how many customers you've acquired, stuff right there, some campaigns that are going in, giving you quick insights, a few quick actions on what's possible. You can launch ads, you can send SMS campaigns, build websites, and then look at your marketing foundations, which will then eventually go to your score and then potential revenue that you can possibly make, right? So, a good dashboard give you one screen and tell you more about your restaurant. You can view this every day. That's the idea for owners and operators, and they can do it that way. Now let's dive first into getting new customers, right? So first thing is this is basically launching Facebook ad campaigns, right? So as a restaurant, you can put your restaurant name in there, item you want to promote, your offer, choose a picture of whatever you're looking to do, and then let me hit a pizza, and then choose my ad budget. I can preview my ad copy. This is now working through AI, and then we're connected with other API modules on the back end, and then it gives you an ad copy, right? Craving cheese pizza, a nice little copy, and then you could really, with this button, you can launch it, and boom, it will then run if you like it. Now, this will also eventually, of course, give you all your insights on how many people you're expected to reach, impressions, your budget, and then what the next steps could be. Similarly, apart from that, you want to also text customers, because now restaurant space is all about building that community, right? So we could do something similar, get like SMSs going, choose a file to upload where you have all your customers going in, and again send them an offer that you want, and then again you can still preview what the SMS would look like, and then if you like everything that you see, you can send it to them, right? We're using, again, SMS sending tools that can actually send the SMS, and basically you're done here. Eventually there will be more modules or like automated campaigns that can be built out for SMSs, but it's starting out as manual, and then expect to see a lot more. And then of course you will get your insights, how many messages sent, what's the cost, delivery rate, and all of that fun stuff. Eventually we'll build in links where if people click them, they can we get those insights also. So this is cool. And then the third thing, which we feel like is a base, but it's still missing in this world, right? Which is websites. So eventually, thanks to SnapDev again, as I was learning, I was like, yeah, I mean, from the 10 restaurants I come across, probably 4 or 5 don't have websites or don't have good websites. So I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, since we're doing their digital marketing, we're looking at their digital presence, let's do the website. So we also have this tool. I don't want to click this because it takes more time than we need. So, but then the idea is if you click this, you put some information, there'll be more prompts coming in. You can build your website with a click of a button. But then you also have a template-based website builder where you can say, oh, yeah, what are you like? Are you elegant fine dining? Are you a cafe? Are you luxury? So you pick a theme, customize a template, say, hey, SnapDev, cafe, right? And, you could build the website right there. So you can, quickly hit save, preview, change anything that you want in here. You could customize colors. It will give you basic things that you have, your FAQ sections, gallery, what customer says, this is reviews, and then of course your contact us section, right? And then, so all of this is editable, right? You can change anything you want. You can pick up your theme and, go do it. And this is all live editing. Also, you can change the text that AI generated for you if you don't like it. And then, upload your pictures and do a bunch of stuff. So this is like the mini Wix for restaurants, focused just on restaurants. So eventually building more reviews, building stuff on their social media side, like adding plugins where, you can see their reels, Instagram reels right here. And then, so much more can be done. And then, of course, the website can be published. There's going to be more stuff on SEO coming in. But then again, like all of this contributes. So you see your website, you can keep working on it, preview it again, or more. So and see multiple websites that you've been working on. So that's a website builder. And then we move on to next thing, which is all of your some AI tools. So this flashy section that we see here is where you'll find more AI tools that are doing good stuff. So the first one is basically your digital presence grader. So we'll tell you, hey, this is where you are. This is what your Google profile is like. This is what your website is like. And then what you need to really improve. So again, it will take more time if I do an actual one, but if you just put some demo stuff, you'll see, hey, this is your rank for your website, social media, you're at C+. And then, if you hit this button, which is, again, AI Insights, it will tell you what you can improve. So let's say loading speed, right? Or since we did not put an actual website link, it did not see if you have an SSL or website accessibility basic setup. It will give you all of this actual information, and then you can act accordingly. And then eventually, if they see, oh, my website is not that good, we will have a CTA here, which will tell them, hey, click this and go to the website builder, build the right website for yourself. So this is what it does, gives you an immediate action plan, and that's where our CTAs are going to be. Similarly, on more AI stuff coming in, where we have the smart menu optimizer, but let's look at content creation, right? Again, something where these guys struggle with, and they're charged a lot of money. Sorry, somehow did my screen go away? I think it did.
No, we can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Got it. Sorry, I just moved to a different screen. So anyway, content creation, right? They struggle with this or pay a lot of money for this. Let's say they want to do that. They pick an image which is not looking that nice, but even if it's nice, they want to enhance it. They will see all these presets. Let's say I want to do a quick and easy job, make it social media ready. So we'll give you that prompt. Again, this is all actual AI stuff, working with OpenAI and other tools that will enhance that image based on what you wanted. So, it's not the perfect, enhancement today, but it will be. But you see that it made the chicken look red, which I like, which is, making it look spicy. So then eventually, if you like the picture and the background based on your theme, you can pick anything where you want to post it. All of these handles will be integrated. There is a way, and it happens. So, you can eventually create a post and then content to get that going. So let's say we choose an Instagram post, we generate that marketing content. You will see it right there. You can pick even hashtags which are relevant, which are going to help with all your marketing, and then click that copy and go and post it. The last thing, I know we're short on time, is your overall marketing foundations grader score, right? So this is to guide you on things that you need to do, right? Quickly running through this, there are elements that build your digital presence, right? Like your Google profile, your website, your social media presence, online ordering system, emails that are going out, loyalty programs. So this is basically, something which will guide you. If you're doing more tasks here, you eventually get a better score, right? Your score bumped from 30 to 35. And then also your ongoing operations, right? If you're generating content, you're planning your social media posts, it's going to give you a score for everything, which is based on real results. And then eventually your score keeps going up. So it's like your assistant really trying to tell you, hey, you got to keep doing this. And then there's also that instant gratification. Once you're doing those things, your scores building up and you're liking it, eventually you're also seeing revenue come in, because there is a potential for this to go in. So that's the overview for the dashboard for restaurants when they use it. But then of course, knowing restaurant owners, we needed another component for admin to kind of manage them and make sure they're doing everything right, or even help them create stuff. So this restaurant is admin stuff is going to help you do that. You can manage different restaurants that are working with you. You can impersonate and go in their login to eventually go get things going for them. But then there's other stuff also where, for example, subscription management. You see how much money is coming in, who is paying, who's on what plan. Usage tracking, since there's AI stuff involved, so who's using what. And then of course invoices. There's more stuff where you can see your AI usage, and then of course the business assistant. This is what I spoke about earlier, and then turning on their features and managing what they're using based on their plans. So there's more stuff, but I don't want to bore you with that, because again, I have one more thing to demo to you. So this is admin. Again, the goal is really for you to have as an admin full control over all the restaurants that are operating, and then full control on your analytics and the numbers that are running in, especially when using AI. So that's Uplit for you guys. And now I'm quickly going to move to the second project, which is also on production, but which you see here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the local host, just because I have some more data in it, and that will help you get a more visually appealing run. So this is Bistro Board. Bistro Board is the Amazon for restaurants. Again, I wanted to stay in that industry since I'm specialized, have a lot of insights. I got a lot of feedback from actual restaurant owners to build all of this. The goal of Bistro Board is to be really that B2B Amazon kind of marketplace for restaurants and vendors. Both of them are there because they are, again, struggling. It's very manual. People they have to pick up their phones and call a vendor. Hey, I need paper roll. I need napkins. I need trays. And then they may or may not reach them on time. They may get invoiced at a higher price, especially with the tariff stuff going on. I got a lot of feedback. Hey, we got crazy invoices. So without further ado, let me go in, build the signing up with Google stuff, but let's quickly go log in as a restaurant. I hope this works. It did. Great. So as a restaurant, there's your dashboard is going to be telling you what you can do, like all your orders that you're placing with those vendors, right? So these are, for example, action items telling you this is urgent stuff that you need to work on and fix perhaps. These are my total orders that I see. So let's say these are all of them. If I go quickly look at the pending ones, I will see all the urgent stuff that I need to do and eventually work on it. But I can also see orders that are confirmed, so everything good to go. And then the fulfilled ones that Bay Foods, Fresh Valley, they've fulfilled my order. And then of course you had all where you can see all of them. Then again, you can quickly go place an order, choose a vendor. Let's say I pick this one. What I want to order is, let's say, veggies. And then I can put my notes in and then create the order. So as I create your order, you see this is actual stuff. Thanks to SnapDev, I got the order in, and then this order is going in to the other vendor also. Now, this is management of all their orders. They can look at their profiles, but then there's also the marketplace, right? So there'll eventually be an app where they can scroll through vendors. If they're struggling with something, they're struggling with a vendor, they can pick up something from here, right? If they want an alternate meat vendor, or they're looking to start something new, they can quickly scroll through these and select one, and then right away, view details and then place an order. It will show you all their contact information, certifications, all of that fun stuff. If they have minimum orders, when they're established. So think of this as a complete history or Crunchbase for all these vendors. So you're not guessing. So, all in all, goal is to help them order easily, manage it easily, and then get access to more and more vendors. Quickly looking at the vendor login, right? Now, what vendors see is, of course, all the restaurants that are placing orders. So this one's getting orders from Mario Pizzeria, and mainly it has that for now. But like they can again see what's pending. They need to confirm the order, right? And then if it's confirmed, after they work on it, they can also mark it as fulfilled, and it moves there, right? So this is also beautiful for vendors, because I've met like 7 vendors now in these last 4 weeks, and out of those 7, 5 are completely manual. And manual really means like paper and pen. They're writing down, oh, I get a call. They're writing down, okay, do you need this? Okay, I'll get it fulfilled. And they track everything manually. So this way, they don't need to spend $10,000. They get an ERP, CRM, whatever you want to call it, right away. And then lastly, the admin command center, as you can tell, I'm concerned about operations, so I wanted to build this as well. And logging in, you can see a bunch of stuff happening. So total orders, total users, pending approvals too. This is for new users that signed up, and then 0 new users. So order processing alerts, if something's been pending for more than 48 hours, vendor pipeline. And then again, if there are any stock orders, so investigating what's going on and you want to fix that. And then if there are any pending vendor approvals, I can hit approve, and then it goes in. Some other stats are here, but again, I'll just go over the major modules where there's user management. Again, you can delete them or view what they're doing, look at their activities. Oops, that did not work. Refresh. Okay, no. So that did not work. Looks like it's time for me to stop, but I'll quickly try. I can try again. Okay, good. And then again, the impersonation feature, where you can go and see restaurants and vendors on what they're doing, fix their stuff for them, give them that support, which is also an area where you can make money. If there's one which is inactive, it mentions that. And then lastly, audit logs, right? So when the impersonation was done, what was worked on, order was stuck, user were created. So all of those nice things. By the way, this is an actual distributor which was created, and login has been shared. And then we've received our first order through this platform. So thanks to SnapDev, I've made a few cents already, but this is just the start for many more amazing things to come in. But that's all for now. Sorry if I took longer than expected, but yeah, I'll end here.
Awesome, Shan. That's like 20 products baked into one. So amazing job. This is incredible. So thank you so much. There is a question, so just reply to it in the chat, like which database you're using. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining. I'm just gonna quickly share my screen. Anyone that's looking to be part of the next cohort and beat Cheyenne in terms of what you can build, please scan the left one for the application form and the right one for the info session. We have the info session July 22nd. We'll cover everything. We have an early bird going on. So this is like officially the first time we're announcing the launch publicly for the next cohort. So the first 10 participants will get $300 off. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining. This was awesome. And thanks all the participants for sharing your demos and your awesome work. You absolutely crushed it. This was the first bootcamp. I had no idea how much we'll accomplish. So great job. Let's stay connected on Slack. Maybe we could do a follow-up call as well with all the participants for next steps, how we can extend it. But brilliant job, everyone. I know we're out of time. Yes, Shan, you wanted to add something?
I just want to take a moment and thank Osama and Zan. Those were people who were supporting us on the back end from the SnapDev team. I think, there were moments where I was like, screw this, I'm done with this. It's not working out, it's not ready yet. AI is not there, but these guys helped us get out. So I really want to take this moment and thank them. And of course, that means the SnapDev team. Thank you so much, guys. We couldn't do it without you guys.
No, thank you for making this possible, but no, amazing job. thank you, everybody. And yeah, I think we're out of time. So for the SnapDev participants, maybe we can have another follow-up call sometime this week just to discuss next steps. Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Great job, everyone.